Okay, guys, welcome to another weekly market review for ourselves. Let's get straight into it. I got a lot of exciting things to share with you guys. Going to be a more chart-based technical video, so let's get straight into it. Now, again, this is not financial advice. This is just our own opinions or references that we may set out on our social media, and it's just our own personal views. Okay, so let's get straight into the charts, guys, and see how the markets have been for the past month and where are we going to go from here. Okay, guys, so you can see right now, sorry about that. So you can see right now we are on my charts for myself. Okay, so we are on my SPY S&P 500 charts. And very simply, guys, you can see that for the month of March, we were in a bullish movement up, bullish uptrend. Very nicely, if I take out my brush, you can see that we went up for ourselves, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up all the way. So it obeyed my trend line. And when we got to the month of March, you can see that we have sort of been, even though we're going up, we've sort of been in a sideways funk, sideways kind of channel for ourselves. So some of you might have felt that the month of April was a little bit harder for you to trade. You are not alone on this because the month of April was very choppy market and was really going kind of sideways for itself. Okay, now it's quite surprising because if you take a look at history, guys, for the past 20 years on the index, so we have the past 20 years index over here, you can see that over the past 20 years, the monthly averages for the month of April, typically, what does it show us, guys? It is bullish, all right? It is going up. So for the month of April, by right, we should be in a bullish month for ourselves. Typically, markets go up. Okay, but what's been happening or a little bit odd for this month is that it's been entirely more or less sideways for itself. Okay, and not just over here. If you take a look at my other seasonality, you can see very, very clearly, guys, that for the month of April, we actually are very bullish, all right? And compared over the past 20 years, the month of April is actually the most bullish, all right? So you can see comparing all the months over here, January to December, April is actually the most bullish month. But what has happened very simply is that this time round, we have been entirely sideways for ourselves. So you can see we are entirely sideways. We've gone up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, really more of a sideways movement. So that's why you may find that it's been a little bit more difficult for you to trade. Okay, now how long can this sideways channel sort of last? Typically for about a 3 to 4 weeks period. All right, it lasts for about 3 to 4 weeks. So how am I getting this, or how am I telling you guys this? Very simply, if we go back to the month of December, so December last year, guys, you can see very obviously we had a sideways movement for ourselves. All right, markets move sideways, and then what happened? Eventually it broke and we saw markets fly up all the way for ourselves. Okay, so same thing as well. That's what's happening. Markets have been consolidating for about a 3 to 4 weeks period. So December, when this happened, this was about a 3 to 4 weeks period. And right now, okay, let me just clear this. If we go back to the month of April, you can see we are on a sideways, and it's been lasting from the start of April, all right, all the way to coming to the end of April. So we are about 3 weeks in, coming to the 4th week, and the SPY and the market should find direction soon enough. Okay, now what is the view of the team over here? Well, very simply, guys, we are bullish on the markets. Okay, we are bullish on the markets. Now, why are we bullish? Very simply, I told you guys in the previous video already, I will be bullish on the markets. I am more KIV for long trades. Okay, why is that the case? Number one, two big companies announced their earnings this week. What are the two big companies? We have Netflix and Tesla. Okay, Netflix and Tesla. Now, these aren't small companies, guys. These are big companies that announced their earnings. And what happened when they did that? Well, very simply, you can see markets did not react so negatively. It did not drop drastically. we still held our own, and it still held its key levels for itself. Okay, so the fact that these two big companies announced their earnings, Tesla dropped about 10%, guys. Okay, about 10%, and Netflix even dropped a substantial amount as well. But the market still held steady and it did not drop drastically. Okay, so the fact that this happened, I still remain bullish on the markets. Now, if you look at earnings whispers, we have a lot of earnings that's coming out this week for ourselves. We have Microsoft, we have Google, we have Meta, we have Amazon, all right? 4 of the big tech giants are releasing their earnings. And statistically, guys, if you go and track back, out of the 5 major companies, all right, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon, when they release their earnings, typically when they release, 3 of them go up, 2 of them come down, all right? If not, 3 of them go down and 2 of them come up. Okay, so how the earnings goes and reacts, nobody will know, nobody can predict that, but typically, statistically, this is how it goes for those stocks. So Tuesday, we have Microsoft and Google releasing their earnings. If they release their earnings and it's bad, but market still holds well, still doesn't drop drastically, it holds the price levels that I'll show you in a bit, then I believe the markets will continue to be bullish and they will continue to go up. If they happen to do well and it drives the markets up, then we will see significant movement to the upside. Okay, so all rests on how the earnings go this week, I guess, and I'm pretty sure everybody will be on standby to see how the earnings are, all right, with all the high inflation, now inflation coming down, with interest rates about to be tapered off after their last hike that is coming in May. All these factors will play a part to see how the market reacts to this. Okay, now, very simply, guys, very simply, I believe that the markets are still going to be bullish and they are still going to continue up for themselves. Now, why do I say this? Well, 1 or 2 factors remain. Okay, so let me show you on the technical side. 1 or 2 factors still remain. Okay, number 1, okay, let me take all of this out, remove all my drawings. Okay, okay, so if I zoom out, guys, and I draw very simply for you, we start at the bottom over here. Okay, we start at the bottom, we go up, and then we end up coming down. We go up higher, and we end up coming down, and we go up, and we are here now. If you look, guys, very carefully, can you see our lower lows? Right, sorry, our higher lows, we are making higher lows, and we are making higher highs for ourselves for the past 2 times. So likely, where can the direction of the SPY go? It can continue higher. All right, so the technicals have already shown me that we have been making higher lows and higher highs for ourselves. All right, so where do I anticipate the markets will go? Well, we can definitely go higher. But why is it feeling tricky? Is because this isn't like COVID time. The markets are not going to go up every day, guys. All right, the markets are definitely not going to go up every day. So you have to bear that in mind when you're doing your trades, that hey, markets are not going to go up every day. But very simply, we have a very clear wave up for ourselves. Okay, now, next thing is this. Okay, so if I draw ourselves, so let me draw from the start of here all the way up here, and then I bring it down here. You can see very, very nicely for ourselves, guys, that the markets right now are hitting a resistance point for myself. Okay, it hit about my 414 to 415, and it went down for myself. Now, what are the key levels, guys? You can see that markets still have room to move up to about 424 to 425. All right, we still have movement to go up to about 424 to 425 for ourselves. Okay, but right now it's hit a resistance. So where can we go? Very simply, as long as we hold above my 407 level, right? My 407 level, I will continue to be bullish on the markets. I will continue to look out for more long trades. Okay? Because I believe that markets have an upside to about 425. Now, if it comes down to my 407 and goes below that, then I will believe that markets have been rejected and we might have to swap over to more bearish trades and on the bearish side of things. Okay, so this is my levels I'm going to be watching out for. 407. If it breaks that, then the markets will be going down. I will turn to more bearish trades, KIV short trades. But if it continues to go up, it breaks my 414, we will see it go all the way up to 425, 424 to 425, and I'll be more on long trades for myself. Okay, so that is how things are going for myself and my view on the markets. Okay, now the next thing is this. Okay, if I zoom in right now to the SPY, so let's give it some time to load. Okay, I can see very, very clearly. Okay, I can see very clearly for myself. Okay, and if I turn on my EMA, that my SPY is coming down very nicely for myself. Okay. Okay, we can see my SPY is coming down very, very nicely for myself, and it's very close to my 20 EMA for myself. So it again is coming close to my support levels and testing this very well. Okay, QQQ guys is even more on the downside. Okay, you can see with QQQ over here. Let me just remove everything. Okay, sorry. Remove all the drawing. Okay, you can see QQQ guys coming down all the way to my 20 EMA for itself. So it's testing my support levels very, very nicely for itself. All right. So it's tested it very nicely and we are seeing a bounce back up for itself. So I believe the markets are waiting to break this and go more bullish for themselves. Okay. Now, with SPY, okay, with SPY, what I believe could happen is this, right? So you see where my 20 EMA is very close to my 407 level that I told you just now. Okay, so very simply, I can draw another line as well. Over here, okay, and you can see this is the range that SPY has been for the past couple of weeks, okay, and it's a very tight range that we are in right now for ourselves. Okay, now the thing is, how do I think the markets are going to be this week if let's say we go bullish? I think they will trick the markets into thinking it's going down first before it comes back up. I think they will lay a bear trap first before the markets turn bullish and go up. Why do I say this? Very simply, let's take a look at back in December. So this resembles a lot to what happened back in December for myself. Okay. And very simply, this was back in December. If I draw very clearly, okay, my trend lines and my channel, okay, you can see that markets actually went down in my channel and it bounced back up. And when it bounced down, can you see it went below and then pumped back up and went below a little bit again and went back up. All right. And then it bounced before it broke and it found new direction for itself. Okay. So very simply what this was this was a trap. All right. It was a bear trap and it faked out a lot of traders and investors. And I believe that's what the markets will do in where we are at currently now for ourselves. Okay, so this coming week, okay, I believe when the markets are right now pulling back for itself, all right, finding support in my 20, what happen is that there may be a trap for itself. Maybe the price may come down to 408 or 407, like my levels I showed you earlier. It might try and do a fake out or a bear trap before it pumps back up and we find new direction. Okay, that's what I believe that the markets will try to do. So again, guys, if you're trading this week, just be more careful. There's a lot of earnings that are coming out. If you're not sure with all the volatility, then just sit out of the markets. All right, sit out of the markets. You don't have to trade for yourself. Wait until all the earnings have cleared. And then for the month of May, you can start doing your trades for yourself. Okay, but if you're not sure how to navigate this coming week with all the big earnings, then my advice would be please stay out and just stay in cash. All right. When things are better, then you can start going in when the markets are a little bit more clear and a little bit more directional. Okay. So that's how I believe the markets will go. It may do a fake out, a bear trap before it starts to pump back up higher for ourselves. Okay. So just be on the lookout for this and on the watch. Now, this week, what do we have to look out for, guys? Very simply, on Forex Factory, you can see for yourself, there is GDP that's coming out, all right? So GDP is coming out on Thursday as well with all these earnings. So this is macroeconomic news, whether our economy is growing quarter by quarter for itself. Okay, so please go ahead, be careful when you're trading. Apart from the earnings, this is something else that is coming out as well. Okay, guys, but as usual, as what I always say here, even though the markets are volatile, it's choppy, if you have a system for yourself that you can consistently execute and you know the right system to use for yourself, then you still can be very profitable in these markets. Okay, so let me show you guys what I mean. So as usual, what I mean by that, guys, okay, you can see the results by our students this week because they have a proven system and methodology that they know how to execute on a consistent basis. You can see how they navigated this choppy month, right? I told you guys, the month of April is a choppy month. But if you know the right system you have for yourself, how to execute your trades diligently, on what to follow and the criteria to look out for, then very simply, you can make returns like this. Okay, so you can see Gordon over here, $345 for the day. All right, you have Justin over here making $710 for himself. Keith, all right, one of our newest traders, making very consistent for himself, $163, $60, and $119 for himself. Okay, very, very good for these guys. Okay, and again, Aloysius making $840 for himself, Ling 110, 307 from Martin. Guys, you know, even if you have a bigger capital for yourself, if you know the right system to execute, you don't have to go for big moves and you can make some pretty good returns for yourself. Look at these guys. Martin making about 0.112%, right? He has a bigger portfolio, he has bigger amount of money, but because he knows how to use it the right way, he has a clear methodology and system to follow, he can make such returns for himself. Okay, again, making such returns for himself, all right, 0.4%, 0.7%. Tesla, right? I told you guys, Tesla this week announced its earnings. He knew how to take advantage of it. He made about a good $108. Okay, Keith as well, making it on Nvidia, all right? Nvidia had a good move he made on it. SE as well, Martha as well, making on Nvidia. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic returns for themselves. Okay, you have Desmond over here making on Nvidia, on Etsy, on S-Bucks, all right, Starbucks, Nvidia as well, AMD. These guys were killing it, all right, making such incredible returns, guys. Really, really solid stuff. So, guys, if you want to know how you can join us, very simply, I got two things for you guys. Please listen carefully. Number one, we have our Discord channel, okay, our free Discord channel. This is where I post our weekly review videos where I talk about the markets, I talk about the charts, I talk about where the markets can go and how to position yourself. And this is some valuable knowledge, guys, that if you know how to use it, can help you in your trading in the markets. Okay, so how do you join it? bit.ly/IWC Discord. This is the link over here. If not, please scan the QR code for yourself and join. It's right over here. Now, we also have our Instagram page, that is number 2 over here, all right? My second thing over here, which is our Instagram page. This is where we have our spotlight of the week, where we actually highlight, guys, certain stocks on the price levels it could go to. If you see it for yourself, these are valuable trading resources which you could use in your trading and maybe even help you to start analyzing the markets for yourself. Okay, so if you've not joined that yet, please go ahead to our link over here, bit.ly/IWC Insta. If not, scan the QR code over here and join our Instagram channel as well. Okay, so number one, our Discord channel with the weekly market reviews, and number two, our IWC Instagram page. Very simply, we post a lot of trading resources and certain stocks we are looking at for the week. So go ahead and join these two things and get going on this journey for yourself, guys. Okay, and with that, guys, I've come to the end of my video as always. So please take care in the week ahead. Stay safe. May the markets be in your favor. Trade safe, and I will see you next week.